What does that mean to you, Black History Month?
It means that that's racism because they don't celebrate White History Month. We don't have it. I'm part Italian. I don't have Italian History Month. So what I think it's doing is perpetuating what this divide is in our nation, quite honestly, because I don't feel like that should be highlighted. I don't think that they should be pushing their agenda on myself because I'm a straight male, I have a wife, and I have children. I don't think that I should have to be bombarded and brainwashed through media, through those months or Pride, Black History. I don't think that's something that should be, dictated to me.
Is it a learning opportunity?
Not at all, because when I was in school, we learned, certain Black leaders, things like that. I don't need to hear it every single year for a whole month.
Folks, as you may know, they're a group of Afrikaners, white South Africans have come over to the United States this week, and it's first load of South Africans to assist and help revitalize the farming industry in the United States, and it's quite controversial, as you know. Well, Donald Trump is very disappointed to find out that this group of people who just came over this week actually have no farming experience. They have no knowledge of farming, and none of them actually had farms in South Africa. When they found out that they were actually a collection of security guards, actually part-time rappers, and a guy called Bradley who almost bought a tractor once. So this is obviously a real disappointment, PR exercise failure for the Trump administration. There was even one gentleman that thought irrigation was a TikTok challenge. Folks, the source for this is the BBN. My name is Nick. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, and I would love you guys to give me.
Oh, I'm coming in hot on this fucking one. 20 years and 28 motherfucking days I gave to this fucking country that I don't even fucking recognize anymore. 20 fucking years and 28 fucking days of honorable fucking service. Changing people's lives. During wartime and fucking peace. Raising my right hand to take an oath to the Constitution to defend this country against enemies, foreign and fucking domestic. And we got this fucking Trump, this fucking hump, and his fucking monkeys destroying his fucking country, going over fucking seas, talking to fucking terrorists, putting money in his fucking pocket. But you fucking maggot motherfuckers are okay with this shit. And you motherfucking veterans that support him, your service doesn't mean fucking shit. I served all around the fucking world. I was in fucking Cuba. I was in fucking Korea. I was in Sicily. I was in and out of country during the Gulf War, flying classified missions, delivering fucking material on every fucking airplane you can name. From fucking C-2s, to C-130s, to C-5s, to fucking helicopters, and everything else. Landed on fucking aircraft carriers and any other fucking place to deliver material. In the fucking darkness of fucking night. But this is the fucking country that you allowed this bitch to fucking make, to put money in his fucking pocket, have the worst fucking wife, the worst fucking kids. You all fucking disgust me. And you motherfuckers that think you're patriots behind him, a treasonous traitor, you're motherfucking hatreds. And you fake fucking Christians, fuck you. May you all rot in fucking hell, because we all have a fucking judgment day. That I do believe. And yours ain't gonna go so fucking good. It's Saturday morning, I'm so fucking sick and fucking tired of seeing this dumb motherfucker say the stupidest fucking shit. The weave? Motherfucker, please. You don't fucking weave. And you keep fucking attacking Joe Biden? He got more fucking sense in his fucking pinky no matter what his cognitive fucking ability is today or it was yesterday. You fucking bloated fuck, and all your fucking monkeys and every one of you rotten bitches from Nome to Headslip to fucking Little Marco to all of them today. Raspy fucking Robert Kennedy. All of you motherfuckers, you're the fucking bottom-feeding motherfuckers. The worst this country has ever had in a fucking administration. I served under Reagan and fucking Papa Bush and Clinton and fucking Junior Bush. And no matter how much you may hate them motherfuckers or love them, they never were like this. This is fucking insanity. I don't recognize this fucking country anymore with the fucking misogyny on fleek and the fucking racism. deporting people that are trying to get citizenship, who are paying taxes and mortgages and car notes and are productive members of society. People dying in ICE detention. But you motherfuckers don't care. But I blame you motherfuckers that voted them in. Fuck you this Saturday morning. Fuck you next Saturday fucking morning. And the remaining Saturday mornings that you breathe the same motherfucking air that I fucking breathe, that I should put a fucking tariff on because you motherfuckers don't deserve to breathe it. Fuck you, Trump, your whole rotten fucking administration, and your fucking willingness to fucking sell out this country to fucking evil motherfuckers that I fucking defended against. Fuck you and every fucking person named fucking Trump.
White people have always loved cults. Let's get one thing straight. White people didn't accidentally fall into cults. They built the world's biggest ones and called them countries. You think a cult is just some dude in a robe talking to aliens? Try a culture that convinced itself that God wanted them to own people. Try calling slavery manifest destiny. Try a science that says skull size equals intelligence, because they measured it with chains. The first white cult in America, the Puritans. They banned dancing, believed blackness was a curse, and murdered anyone who didn't submit. Harvard was a cult school. Jonestown was just a remix. Now it's QAnon, Goop, CrossFit, Crypto Bros, and biohacking incels. Same formula. Isolate the mind, suppress the body, sell salvation. Whiteness is the cult. It just learned how to brand itself as a lifestyle. Europeans have always needed cults because they lost the village. No ancestors, no memory, no root, just delusion in HD. Mormonism wasn't a fluke. White folks didn't just fall for cults, they architected them. Mormonism? That's not a religion. That's settler fan fiction with a body count. Mormonism was America's first homegrown cult empire. Joseph Smith said an angel gave him gold plates in upstate New York. But what he really did? Write a sci-fi sequel to the Bible and weaponize it to steal indigenous land. They marched west like crusaders with wagons, declared Utah their promised land, banned black folks from priesthood till 1978, called indigenous peoples Lamanites, aka cursed descendants of Israelites. This wasn't faith. It was racial cosplay with guns. Now Mormonism is worth $100 billion. They own land, banks, data centers. This ain't just a church. It's a colonial tech startup in Temple Drag. And white America loves it because it's everything they crave. Patriarchy, empire, eternal whiteness. The cult ain't just in Utah. It's the foundation of the U.S. Whiteness needs cults, because without stolen stories, it has none. We don't convert. We remember. Cope.
Don't be afraid to call things what they are. MAGA is a terrorist organization. ICE is a secret police force conducting ethnic cleansing. Elon Musk is an oligarch. And Donald Trump is a foreign-backed coup d'etat figurehead. This is not an administration. This is a regime, and our country is occupied.
To every American who foamed at the mouth because I dared to speak the truth, I don't owe you an apology. America has never apologized for being the global blueprint for hypocrisy. Slavery, invasions, regime changes, and mass incarcerations, and to the Afrikaners clutching their pearls. The fact that my own community is attacking me with more rage than they ever showed apartheid shows the work I'm doing matters. And I'm not here to comfort you. I'm here to expose you. I will not back off, and I will not tone it down, and I will never apologize for challenging cowardice dressed in nostalgia. If that offends you, good. It means I'm aiming in the right
They
direction.
told you that Africa was never civilized. But who gave them the right to define civilization? The same people who burned women for witchcraft, while Africans practiced astronomy, medicine, and more. Europe defined civilization as white skin, stone buildings, and gunpowder. So when they saw Timbuktu's libraries, Ethiopia's infrastructure, or the legal systems of Ashanti, they ignored it because it didn't look like them. But African civilization wasn't about domination. It was about balance. With nature, with people, with spirit. Europe colonized, enslaved, and conquered, and then called it progress. They measured humanity in how much land you could steal and how many bodies you could bury. So no, Africa wasn't uncivilized. It just didn't look like their version of power. And maybe that is why they had to destroy it. Because deep down they feared that it was more human than anything that they've built before.
You know, letting you guys know that I was literally spending the night here every night until Trump's fat, orange, sexist, racist, homophobic, transphobic, anti-veteran, pro-Russian traitor piece of shit ass is in office. Till he's out, we will remain here, literally camping out. I fell asleep in there, and I'm totally okay with it because, I mean, I'm not okay with it, but I'm more okay with that than losing our country to a dictatorship, and that includes every American, every real American. I don't want us to lose our country to a fascist dictator wannabe who just wants to hand it all to a bunch of billionaire oligarchs, other billionaire oligarchs in Russia. Not even in America. I mean, America's going to get some of the piece of pie, but they're sucking the fucking dick of the Russian oligarchs. And so again, as you can see, we have a little media coverage. And it's a start.
Right?
It's definitely a start.
It's going more peacefully.
Yeah.
Nobody's throwing hands yet.
Part of the Mayday movement, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
Big
Oh yeah,
time.
you too, man. People like us gotta do. What else can we do?
What else can we do, man?
We're together. We're here.
We're all in this together. It's all right.
100%, man.
Yeah, brother. Like I said earlier, fascists are not welcome. And yeah, this is our little zone. So we're gonna keep holding it down here until that fucker's out. That's it. We're holding speeches on a stage right over here. And as you can see, we're right on the main stretch, one of the main stretches of the National Mall. So yeah, big ups to everybody who was involved, and I'm really proud and happy to be that I'm a little bit of a part of it, and it's going to be awesome, and we're going to keep doing this shit. Fuck the fascists. Do not comply.
MAGA, you really are the most pathetic cult of contradictions, where you're all about freedom but can't handle someone being free to exist without fitting into your little box of what's normal. You guys wave your dumb little flags around and scream about liberty while trying to legislate every uterus, every classroom, every bathroom, and every border like it's your own personal police state. You guys claim to be pro-life always while frothing at the mouth to control a woman's body, but then turn right around and cheer when another unarmed black kid gets shot dead by a cop. Where is your precious life then? Oh, that's right. It only matters before birth. After that, they can starve, get shot, or get deported. Just don't ask you to pay a dime in taxes to help them out, right? You pound the Bible to justify your hatred of LGBTQ people as if Jesus ever said a damn thing about who someone loves. But the moment a kid gets shot in school, suddenly your God is silent. Suddenly it's thoughts and prayers, right? Not policies and change. You're all for saving the kids, unless one of those kids are trans, gay, or just trying to exist without your hateful ass breathing down their neck. And let's talk about immigrants. You want them out? Sure. Except for the ones building your houses, cooking your food, or cleaning up after your lazy, entitled, bootlicking asses. You scream about law and order, but where's your law and order when McDonald Trump's out here robbing the country blind or making a cryptocurrency where he pockets millions? When he's pardoning criminals, looting the government, and letting his cronies run wild? Oh, that's right also. You don't care because as long as he hates the same people you do, he gets a free pass. You say you love America, but the moment someone wants to learn actual history, you know, the kind that shows how this country was built on the backs of enslaved people and immigrants, you lose your damn mind. You want schools to teach whitewashed fairy tales while banning books that make you feel uncomfortable. You call yourself patriots, but you can't even handle the truth. MAGA, You're not patriots. You're not Christians. You're not even pro-life. You're just a bunch of fragile, angry hypocrites who can't stand the fact that the world is moving on without you.
This Afrikaner refugee had a 5-bedroom house and a mining company in South Africa. You know, the way refugees have. He had to leave behind his car, his dogs, and even his mother. You know, the way that families that are in terrible danger and have to flee usually leave behind their mother. He's also a bigot, at the very least an anti-Semite and an Islamophobe. A few years ago, he posted vile, sweeping, stereotypical statements about Jews on the internet, and he also posted clapping hand emojis in response to a post about assaulting Muslims. In his defense, he says that he was standing up for his religion, and he was also on very heavy medication at the time, specifically morphine. And I'm sure we all know that when somebody takes morphine, they suddenly become a hateful bigot. This is well documented. And he says that the land expropriation in South Africa has gone too far, your land becomes worthless. I can't wait for him to find out that America has basically the same expropriation laws as South Africa, they just call it something else. And the silliest part of all, you might be amused to know that this man, who walked away from a quality of life, a standard of life, higher than the vast majority of South Africans could ever dream of having, a 5-bedroom house. His surname is Kleinhaus.
So this is Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador. And if you see his face or hear his name and the fuck that guy energy flows through you, then number one, you're a good person. 2, this is a safe place. Mr. Bukele has a couple of passion projects. One is detaining individuals in a camp in Central America where they do not escape from. And then 2 is his coffee company, Bean of Fire, which is based in Miami. And there was a reporter for the Miami New Times, Alex DeLuca, who put some interesting information about the company, which I'll share with you right here. And he only follows one other profile on TikTok, which is Bean of Fire. So it's a really big deal to him. So if you wanted to send a message to him about, your displeasure for using U.S. taxpayer dollars you and I, give the government, to keep people in a camp down in Central America from which they never return, then you might go to his TikTok page and send a message from Bean of Fire. You might leave a Google review. You might talk to your local coffee shop about if they serve Bean of Fire and that's not going to work for you. You might talk to local grocery chains about that and send a message to them. You might show up outside of the company's door for a protest to let them know how you feel about all that. And those are not things that you have to do. Those are just, potential options if you don't dig him and what he's doing with our money and to people that should get due process.
Okay, if this isn't what fascism looks like, I'm not sure what is. Eric Trump, Donald Trump's son, posted one of the scariest and most outrageous things I've ever seen on social media before deleting it 20 minutes later. Lucky for you guys, I have a copy of his post to read for you here. Quote, he says, any and all who dare to defy the American golden age, heed this warning. You will lose. Toe the line or we will run you down. The gloves are off and we're not playing around this time. For now it's tariffs, but trust me, we can and will do so much worse. Wow, that is absolutely insane. And to be honest, I don't want the president's son to be posting stuff like that. Now, I don't know if he's talking to Colombia for not accepting Trump's military flight of Colombian nationals that he shipped back to their country, or if he's talking partially to the American people saying, do not defy King Trump's rule, otherwise we will come after you. Either way, I'm not afraid of Eric Trump, Don Jr., Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, or any of these other MAGA lunatics. I'm going to continue speaking the truth about what's happening here in America, so follow me here and on all my other socials.
A non-black person what their favorite thing is about black people, you know what they're gonna say? They're gonna say, oh, I love that they're great hype people. They make me feel cool. It's all about how black people embrace them and they love it, right? But the embracing doesn't go the other way around. You have people that want and love to be welcomed to black spaces, but they don't want to welcome black people into their spaces.
One of the reasons I will never forgive this country is I remember going to get a letter of recommendation from the president of my college university for law school, and we were discussing my reasons for wanting to go to law school, and he asked me, he said, hey, do you know how prisons and jails determine how many cells to make for future inmates? And I said, no. Like, my best guess was to look at how many people were in poverty and go off of that number, and he said, close. They look at all the children in 3rd grade in that area, and every child that is reading below the 3rd grade level, there's a cell waiting for them. Fun fact.
Okay, so what has happened is that Donald Trump has indoctrinated mass amounts of evangelicals in America into his phony church and into his masquerade. And so how he has done this is using the very techniques that people that study cults and cult leaders have been warning us for years and years and years. But what a lot of people don't realize is that all of these warnings are also in scripture. So we have smooth and flattering speech. We have using deception and lies. We have love bombing. We have shunning. We have bullying and abuse. We have using messianic language about himself, such as, I am the only one who can save you. We have somebody in a position of leadership who tells his disciples which news outlets they can listen to and watch and which ones they can't. So it's like straight down the line, everything that cult experts have been warning us for years and years and years. I have all of this laid out in my book, In the Judas Effect, How Evangelicals Betrayed Jesus for Power, because what I did is I went through all of the scriptures that talk about this very thing, and people may be surprised to learn that it's all in there. It's all in the scriptures. So there's over 100 scriptures in the book. In Galatians 3:1, Paul is discussing this very thing with the church, and he says to them, who has bewitched you? And so I ask the very same question to the evangelicals in America today who are propping up this felon and adjudicated sexual predator and acting like he's anointed by God. Who has bewitched you?
Haven't done anything. We're a totally peaceful racist group.
My friends, let me be crystal clear. Republicans aren't just attacking childcare funding. They're waging war on working women. They just tried to gut Head Start, a lifeline for working families. They're pushing to kill a decades-old daycare tax credit. And why? Because they want to shove women out of the workforce and back into the kitchen. This isn't about family values. It's about forced dependency. It's about stripping women of choice, ambition, and economic freedom. While the cost of childcare skyrockets past $11,000 a year, the GOP offers no solutions, just cuts, coercion, and control. They want a future where women are barefoot, pregnant, and powerless, while men run the show. Well, I have a message for them. Not on my watch. I'm running for Congress to fight for universal childcare, expanded tax credits, and full gender equality in the workforce, because women belong in every room where decisions are made, not confined to a nursery by right-wing ideology. We're not going back. We're moving forward together. My name is Doug Kunin. I'm a Democrat congressional candidate in California's 3rd District. Please share this video, follow me, and donate to my congressional campaign. Link is down below and also my profile. Thank you so much for your support.
Hi everyone, my name is Terry Sweetberry, and today I want to talk about this comment right here. Because I'm not going to lie, reading that comment opened up like a whole can of worms that I wanted to talk about. Because there's a picture I do want to show you guys, and it's this right here. It says, I'm just following orders. This picture depicts when Native Americans were forced off their land, when Nazis were taking away the Jews, and ICE taking away the immigrants. The whole point about this image is that they were following orders. The evil that ICE is committing is just excused as following orders. What's messed up but actually truthful is that Hitler did actually take a lot of inspiration on American policies into how he treated the Jews, aka Jim Crow laws. Also, let's not ignore the whole concentration camp that they made for Japanese American citizens after the bombing. A lot of our medical advancements in gynecology is off the blood of African American slaves. Yeah, the father of gynecology tortured slaves. If you don't believe me, look up Dr. J. Marion Sims. What you're going to read is gruesome. Also, a lot of NASA's scientific discoveries were founded by Nazis. Don't believe me on that either? Look it up. Look, I'm well aware that American history is not pretty. I'm well aware that we didn't build this country on goodwill. As an American, I could only hope that our future gets better, that we learn from our mistakes. And Trump's not learning from those mistakes at all. If anything, he's just making things worse for us. With the whole tariff situation, with ICE, with just how he's treating other countries in general. Yeah, no, it's not looking pretty for us. Trump is just trying to make himself richer while also thinking he could intimidate and pretty much threaten other countries. Yeah, I don't really want World War III to happen. Nah. And Trump is pretty much pushing America towards that. Think about it. The only reason I make comparisons between Trump and Hitler and ICE and the SS is because there's too many comparisons. There's a saying here in America, if it quacks like a duck and it looks like a duck, then it's a duck.
Are you mixed or multiracial? Well, the census has just dropped something major, and it's erasing millions of mixed race individuals like us. So in March 2025, the Census Bureau released the Modified Age and Race Census Files, aka MARC. These are new data files based on the 2020 census, but with a little twist. They take the raw census data and they reclassified millions of people into the 5 official race categories set by the government in 1997. That means if you selected some other race or checked multiple boxes, they may have reassigned your identity without your consent. This method has cut the number of people identifying as 2 or more races from 33.8 million to 14.6 million. Meanwhile, the number of people classified as white increased by 40.5 million. That is not a mistake, that is a narrative shift. And here's how they do it. If they can't fit you into one of their little preset boxes, they use info from your household members or even your Medicare or your Social Security or your neighborhood data. Yep, so what I'm saying is who you live with and where you live can determine your racial identity, but not you. And as a last resort, they factor in things like zip code, age, neighborhood demographics, and Hispanic origin. Why? What? What does age have to do with any of it? This isn't just about labels. This affects federal funding, representation, research, and civil rights policy. MARC also allows them to say that 75% of Americans are single race white instead of acknowledging that 40% of us identified as multiracial or non-standard categories in the original census. That's identity erasure in real time. Why? If you've ever felt like you had to pick a side, MARC is just taking it a step further and it picks for you. And that decision has real world consequences. And let's be real, if race didn't matter, why do so many forms go out of their way to make sure Hispanic or Latino origin is always recorded? They care a lot. They just don't care about our truth. So the multiracial community is one of the fastest growing groups in the US, but if MARC keeps collapsing our identities, that growth will not be reflected. It also reinforces the idea that we all have to just choose a side and a box to fit into, when our lived reality is that we are everything. We are both. We are all. And if you're mixed and already dealing with identity questions, this just adds a whole other layer of erasure. They're rewriting the story of America, and we can't let them continue to leave us out of it. Talk about MARC, demand accurate, inclusive data, and if you're mixed or multiracial, and you have felt what it's like to be erased by a form. So let's fight back with some visibility. Until next time, y'all.
You know, it is insane to me that the corporate media is not covering what may be one of the biggest scandals happening right now. At least 28 people were killed as tornadoes ravaged Missouri, Kentucky, and Virginia. And now millions of people are bracing for another round of severe weather. And as all of this happens, Donald Trump has not even made one comment about it. He hasn't said a single thing. And there has been zero federal response. The mayor of St. Louis says that FEMA is nowhere to be found and that people are desperate for help. So Trump has plenty of time to speak about Bruce Springsteen and Taylor Swift and threaten to criminally investigate Oprah and all this crazy stuff. But somehow he never seems to have the time to even do a simple post acknowledging when Americans are in pain. And by the way, the media can't seem to find time to discuss this scandal either. They're too busy speaking about Joe Biden. And speaking of Biden, can you imagine for 1 second if there were tornadoes in Kentucky during his administration and people were dying and he refused to even comment on it? But I think it's important to point this out because our media has become so propagandized and people don't even realize it. But I promise you this, we're going to continue to follow these stories and report on them here at Midas Touch. So make sure you're following our account and add the Midas Touch podcast right now on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
We have some news right now. Donald Trump is calling for an investigation into Beyonce now. In a new Truth Social post, Donald Trump writes, "How much did Kamala Harris pay Bruce Springsteen for his poor performance during her campaign for president? Why did he accept that money if he is such a fan of hers? Isn't that a major and illegal campaign contribution? What about Beyonce? And how much went to Oprah and Bono? I am going to call for a major investigation into this matter. Candidates aren't allowed to pay for endorsements, which Kamala did." There's no evidence that Kamala Harris paid any of these individuals for an endorsement. And well, now Donald Trump decided to wake up and overnight say that he wants to investigate Beyonce and Oprah and Bruce Springsteen and Bono, and he's going to launch this criminal investigation. And I would not be surprised personally if the Department of Justice under Pam Bondi announces some type of investigation into this now. We're going to see what happens next, but there's no evidence of any wrongdoing here. In any event, spread the word. I'll have a full breakdown of this on my Substack this morning, so be sure to subscribe for free at the link in my bio and follow along for all the news that you need to know about. There'll be more to come soon.
Seriously, I'm gonna keep saying this until I die. American culture is Black American culture. It just gets filtered out and watered down and whitewashed until they can give credit to a white guy. Jazz, country, rock and roll, rap, all Black American creation. And then you want to move to the protest side. Bro, not only did Black Lives Matter spark actual other things like Asian Lives Matter and Queer Lives Matter and Trans Lives Matter, but on the flip side, when racist assholes were trying to say, well, Blue Lives Matter, through humanity, what happened is it translated into less of a sarcastic thing and more into a genuine, like, support your nurses and firefighters and EMTs. So even the people who might be the most discriminatory, they got to think of Black American for their own fucking views.
One time when a representative from Minnesota introduced a bill about Trump derangement syndrome and then immediately got arrested for soliciting sex with a minor. I don't know about you, but after him soliciting sex with a minor, I thought that would be the end of it. I mean, if you're doing that in your free time, then you're probably not in any fit condition to influence other people. But if you are like me, we were both wrong, because Ohio is taking up the mantle. This bill, H.R. 3432, was introduced in the House of Representatives federally. And while this text is still not released, it is to direct the director of NIH to conduct or support research to advance the understanding of Trump derangement syndrome and for other purposes. And if you want to know who we can thank for this insanity, it is Representative Warren Davidson from Ohio. So once again, we have the Republican Party trying to label their opposition as deranged or mentally ill. And instead of doing it on a state level, they are now taking it to the national.
Black fatigue. It's all over my FYP page. Thank you. I am so happy that this is being brought up. And oh, by the way, for us white people that have been around the block a long time, this isn't new to us. We've been dealing with this for over 40 years.
Yeah, Steve. Well, some people are racist their whole life. You know, sadly, some people never get over that. Steve, I don't think that you're having the aha guru moment that you seem to think that you're having right now. It looks like you hopped on TikTok and saw that a bunch of other Trump supporters were tired of black people. And so you decided to hop on here and say, you know what? I remember feeling this way 40 years ago. Steve, that doesn't mean what you think it means, okay, buddy? It doesn't mean that you were onto something or that you've been right this whole time. What it actually means, Steve, is even after 40 fucking years, you're still sitting in your car blaming other people for your problems. That's what it means, Steve. So here's what's not going to happen, Steve. You guys aren't going to use this phrase as your new euphemism for being tired of black people. Okay, we already have a term for that, Steve. Okay, we don't need new euphemisms for white people to use to make themselves feel better. And here's the irony, Steve, is black fatigue is already a term that black people use to describe how exhausting it is to live in a country full of fucking Steves. And I don't blame them, Steve. I don't blame them. I, too, have Steve fatigue. Anyway, Steve, this shit, it's not going to cut it. So if you need some white therapy group, then take it to 4chan. Okay, buddy? All right, Steve. Good luck, man.
I'm seeing so many videos of black students graduating on my For You page and then celebrating after, and I love it. But I open the comments and everyone in there is being so weird, saying all sorts of really deeply disgusting things, and I will never understand why black joy threatens y'all so much, why you are so afraid and hateful towards it. Seeing people out here being like, they're not taking it seriously. Well, clearly they graduated, so they were taking stuff seriously. Allow them to be a little excited about their achievements, okay? I don't think that's that crazy. And also people being like, oh my gosh, this is why they don't achieve anything else. Black women are among the most educated in our country right now, okay? And the hardest working if you look at data. So I don't really think it's y'all's place to come out here and insult them for being excited about achieving things that a lot of other people in this country can't right now. They're not harming anyone. They're not even really disrupting anything because everyone else in the video is smiling and laughing too. But you guys are so determined to see black joy and black expression as some sort of dangerous activity that you can villainize, that you have taken that version in your mind and put it on to these literal kids, these literal young adults who are celebrating and expressing their excitement towards the next phase in their life.
White Canadians demand mass deportations now! White Canadians demand mass deportations now! White Canadians demand mass deportations now! White men stand up!
White people. If crime statistics really mattered to us, we would be talking about white men every damn day. We as white people love to throw around statistics when it comes to the black community. We love to misconstrue data about poverty rates, crime rates, single parent households. Here's the thing, if you really want to talk about problematic behavior in terms of statistics, we need to talk about white men. Most mass shootings in America? White men. School shootings? White men. Intimate partner violence, typically known as domestic violence? White men. Police brutality and systemic violence? White men. Online harassment and extremism? White men. Domestic terrorism? White men. Serial killers? White men. The demographic making up the vast majority of CEOs, judges, senators, and police chiefs who refuse to hold white men responsible? White men. And yet us white men are rarely talked about as being a problem. Few white people are asking, what's wrong with white men? What's wrong with the culture? Few white men are demanding that we be fixed. And why? Because we as white men humanize and individualize white violent offenders. And it's time to flip the script. To shame and blame, because I know white males are incredibly fragile when it comes to that, but instead to name what's really going on and who continues to be protected and not held accountable because of selective storytelling. I hope this helps.